6 o'clock Sunday evening. Welcome everybody. Good to have you all on board here. Great to see all the familiar faces here. I'm just checking here on the sideline here on my phone. Who's tuning in, who's on board here tonight. Welcome everybody here. May it be just a awesome evening. I trust that you all had a fabulous weekend. And if not, that's why you're here. That's why you tuned in here tonight to really let's end the weekend on a highlight all together. How's that for a deal? So, I'm looking forward tonight. Will be the last of a 4-part or 5-part, I'm not so sure, a series of episodes where we've been speaking about anxiety-based belief systems, clusters of belief systems that keep us stuck, that we're not able to make any progress in our lives, and how we can unstuck, how we can move on. And that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to focus on the last few clusters of these belief systems that you need to tackle. You need to face them, check them in the eye, face them, identify them, take responsibility for it, and then let it go. Let it go if it doesn't serve you any longer. So that's what we're going to focus on here tonight. Thanks everybody who's saying hi to each other here. Excellent. You know how it works? Comment below. Comment as much as you want. This is your platform where you can also state your questions or comment pertaining to the topic that we are working on. This is a platform for self-development. You have joined this platform because you are interested to invest in yourself. Is that true? No, you are here to invest in yourself. The better version of you must emerge. You don't want to remain stuck in the past anymore. You don't want to live in that predictable loop of yesterday, tomorrow, boring, and tomorrow is exactly the same as yesterday, so predictable and so boring, but in the long run, it is actually killing us, it is destroying us, and that's what we are focusing on here tonight. So those of you who's been following the programs with me so far, those of you who are familiar with the concept of the formula, as the formula is working for you, comment below. Comment below how the synchronicities of life is busy unfolding and manifesting in your life. Share with us how the breakthroughs are busy happening, because tonight is episode number, if I'm not mistaken, is episode 21 or 22. And if you want to learn more about the formula, go back to the previous episodes on the Ancient Master video platform. What is it called? YouTube. That's where it is. That's where you'll find all the other videos on the Ancient Master YouTube channel. Right now, speaking of YouTube, welcome to our YouTube friends. There's a few of you also on board there. Enjoy the evening. And remember, if you prefer to be on that platform, we are doing a multi-streaming every Sunday evening, both on Facebook Live and both simultaneously also on YouTube. That's how we do it here. This is your opportunity to invest in yourself, to break free from the predictable pattern in your life. Just a few announcements before we start. Remember, if you still want to be part of the circle, the master circle of people who are part of the mentorship program, please subscribe. I think there is a link below that you can also subscribe there, and it works on a $2.99 per month for the 6-month program, and there are currently 6 of you tuned into this program, and we are taking to higher heights and deeper depths. That's what we're doing there. Remember, all the books are also available in my bookshop that you can also get there. available from that. And also the month-to-month subscription, if you want to learn more and develop yourself more, that 1 month-to-month subscription is also available at the ancientmaster.com. Let me see if I have a banner there for you. Yes, there it is. Oh, nice, eh? And remember, anyone who wants to WhatsApp me at this moment, I am not available on WhatsApp. I know some of you think I'm very multi-skilled and multitasked. I only focus on the screen here and I check on Facebook Live. So I am not able to handle any WhatsApps at this stage, just to make you aware of how things are working. So please post your questions below, because we are on a journey here together. A journey of breaking free from this predictable loop that I've been speaking about. So welcome everybody who's just tuned in now. Again, welcome here. Let's have a look at what you can expect tonight. And as usually I say, this is an opportunity for you to relax tonight. This hour is a moment of just pausing. Just pause to relax, reflect on your life, reflect on this past week, what's been happening in your life, and then this is also an opportunity for you to reset yourself, going forward. We are on a journey of transformation here, not to be satisfied with the status quo. This is why we are here. I want to help you and guide you and coach you so that you can move forward. Someone just mentioned today, I need to also just make you aware of the disclaimer. This is not a platform where I give you advice so that if you do something, you say it's not working, that you will say, Jeff, see you in court. No ways. I'm not going to fall for that one, okay? So this is not a platform for advice. This is not a platform for therapy. This is just where I share my ideas, my revelations, my understanding, and you are more than welcome to differ from me or just to check for yourself the facts, just to make things very, very clear. Now that's off my chest. So, right, no more lawyers, nothing of that will come to me, So, great. Everybody, what can we expect tonight? So tonight, we're going to focus on the last 2 of the 10 belief systems that hold us back, that keep us in bondage. And each one of these 10 beliefs, cluster systems that we've been focusing on, has got to do with the past, keeping us in bondage. And I always say, and I want to repeat it again tonight, any emotions that you experience in the present moment always has got to do with the record of the past. The emotions that you and I experience in the present moment is basically a record of the past. How is that possible? Because what you're experiencing now, you have experienced before, and now the brain associates it with that past experience, and that's how emotions are working. So emotions is a cue. Emotions gives you a guideline. Emotions makes you aware of what's happening inside here. They are messengers to make you aware of what's happening inside, to connect with yourself on a deeper level. So to experience emotions is not bad. Remember, I've said before, there's no such a thing as a positive emotion or a negative emotion. Why? Because we are talking about emotions with high frequency levels like gratitude and joy and happiness. They are very, very high frequency, elevated emotions. And then emotions like anger and bitterness, unforgiveness and sadness, they are heavy emotions, lower vibrational emotions. The energy there is very low. It drags you down. So I prefer to use the term elevated emotions versus low vibrational emotions. And so important for you to check your state of being. And if you experience an emotion that's a lower vibrational level that drags you down, It's so important to become aware of why you feel the way. And as you've learned so far in all the other episodes in this series, you can trace it back to your belief system or belief systems, which means that up to 80% of our belief systems lie in on the subconscious level. And as we are progressing on this journey, it's possible and even most likely that more and more of your belief systems will start to surface on the conscious level, especially when you experience a lower vibrational emotions of offense and anger, to become aware, to dig deeper in why do I have these anger issues? Why am I so super sensitive? Why do I take offense so easily? Go back. Emotions is a record of the past. And that is clearly what we've been speaking about on this platform so far. So let's dig in. Let's dig in. And Mari, you're not the only person here who's been struggling with forgiveness. This past week, I've been speaking to so many of you on a personal level who say, Jeff, I can't forgive. And remember, if you can't forgive, remember, there's no judgment, but you realize you are not living in the present moment. You are living in the past. You are living in the past, which is another version of the present moment, because you've been in the present moment your whole entire life. It's just another version of the present moment that keeps you in bondage. And it's basically certain belief systems. And if time allows me tonight, I would like to go back to some of the previous belief systems to see how we can tie in with the forgiveness issue. Remember, I always say, and I say it again tonight, forgiveness is not about allowing the others to walk away scot-free. It's about setting yourself free, to let go, to release of what is not serving you any longer, to break away from it, to free yourself, to cleanse yourself. That's what forgiveness is all about. It's about your healing. It's about your progress to move on. That's why the show is called Mindful Moments, to return to the present moment, to be here, to live in the awareness of the now, and not to be in the living, to live in that reality of what's gone. So that's what we are focusing on here tonight. So welcome everybody who tuned in just now. I'm glad to have you all on board. So let's just check now on the belief system that we're going to work on tonight, number 9 and number 10. But as I did last week, I just briefly touched on this one before time caught up on us. And I would like to start with number 8 tonight. I briefly touched, you will check on the previous video. This is the one that I finished on. This cluster of belief systems says, I must achieve to prove my worth. You see, it's still conditional, the conditional issue. Now, this belief system is on the subconscious level that is brewing, is growing. And it seems to me so innocent. It seems so innocent to say and to believe I must achieve to prove my worth because you've been indoctrinated. Let me give you an example. Only receiving praise from your caregivers or parents or teachers after achieving something externally impressive. Now you get a reward. You see, there's a truth element towards this. Because it's nice to reward a child when they have achieved something. Of course, it's nice. But the danger of it becomes a conditional issue of I must achieve, I must perform to prove my worth. And again, many of you work in a work environment where your effectiveness is measured upon your or against your KPIs, key performance indicators. And now we bring it into our relationships. We feel we have to prove our worth because we've never learned the joy of just being unconditionally loved. And the formula says, ladies and gentlemen, that your self-worth is innate. It is inherently part of your birthright. And this takes away excitement when you have that mindset. The formula that we are working says, act on your highest excitement. That's what the formula says, the first part of the formula. You need to act on your highest excitement. Your highest excitement, I repeat it again, is your moral compass, not societal metrics. What society expects of you, what others expect of you, is what excites you that we are focusing on here. And that's the whole idea. And this is one of the ways, ladies and gentlemen, friends, colleagues, whoever's tuned in here tonight, how do you forgive? Shift your focus towards the things in life that excite you, which is your highest excitement, not your lowest vibrational fear, not your lowest vibrational bitterness. Focus on your highest excitement, because the compass of your highest excitement is going to steer you through the storm towards your destination and not to live in the past. So that's what I want to focus on here tonight. Stay in the present moment. Return to the present moment. Ground yourself, anchor yourself in the present moment. It's your safest bet to be in the present moment. From a neuroscience insight, we learn that performance-based worthiness causes chronic stress. Chronic stress in return leads to anxiety, and anxiety in return leads to depression. It's a downward spiraling process when we think about the idea of conditional love. I have to prove myself. And that is very powerful. Your calling. I'm just reading there on the side, Cornelia, what you're saying. I got a call, and the moment I saw who I was calling, my anxiety spiked because of history with this person. It's true, it happens. That's why we validate that experience. You're a human being. And then you remind yourself, what is my highest excitement? I need to focus on my highest excitement and put out the intention to recalibrate myself in terms of where I am going forward with my life. Mari, you say, but I struggle because these people stole from me and I'm still discovering stuff that is missing. How can I forgive it if it never ends? It's true. It's true. We are not necessarily talking about tonight about forgiveness about people that did us wrong many years ago. It happens on a daily basis. That's where the concept of 70 times 70 comes in. It's not only the things or the people that we forgive about many years ago. It's on a daily basis that we need to let go. We need to let go. Just as we breathe in, embrace, accept. Breathe out, let it go. Breathe in, accept it, radical acceptance. Face the pain, feel the emotion, absorb that what is happening, talk about it, and then let it go. Breathe out. Breathe out. Forgiveness has got to do with alignment of the rhythm of breathing in, holding in, and breathing out. When we do not forgive, what happens? It's like holding in your breath. And no wonder many of you who can't forgive, you get panic attacks because you're holding in your breath. Literally, you're holding it in and we get sick. That's the neuroscience aspect of performance-based worthiness causes chronic stress because we live in the past. You hear what I'm saying tonight about the past? Acknowledge the past. Feel the pain of the past. Feel of what happened. Feel the emotion and then let it go. Once you feel it, once you acknowledge it, radical acceptance. Feel the emotion. Talk about it. But don't hold on any longer. As soon as you know it doesn't serve you, it's time to let go. It's time to let go. And remember, last week, when it comes to the point of epigenetics, it shows that love-based self-reflection activates growth-enhancing genes. Now, what are we talking here about? That when we start giving ourselves love and we start releasing the past, you are changing how your genetics, your genes will respond. Your genes start to respond differently. And elevated emotions being activated brings healing towards you. Stress, anxiety on the long term can cause enormous pain, suffering, and lots of illnesses in our lives. Now, look at the bottom there. This is how you reframe it. When you believe that you must achieve in order to prove your worth. I am inherently worthy, regardless of my achievements. Your successes or your failures do not define you. Unlike what the boss may say, what the companies may say about performance. Nope. You are inherently worthy, unconditionally worthy, regardless of your achievements, regardless of your suffering, of your failures. Now, what I pick up tonight, there's something very interesting happening here tonight. Although we are talking about fear-based belief systems, on the sideline, I'm also running the topic of forgiveness. Yeah. Remember, it's all together. It all is intricate. When we do not forgive, we live in the past. You are still holding on to certain belief systems that you need to explore of why you can't let go. Okay? That's crucial that you're going to have to identify tonight. Because you know, and I know, that unforgiveness hurts you more than the other person that you're not forgiving. It's damaging you more to a larger and a deeper extent. Isn't it weird that we can sometimes cling on more to the negative than the positive? That the world is so preoccupied with the negative news. And we are the first people to say how negative journalists can sometimes be, but we are also guilty ourselves when we hold on to the negatives of the past. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. So that's why I would like, if time allows us tonight, I would like to see in the context of unforgiveness and explore with you how these belief systems that we've been tackling, how related it could be to the issue of non-forgiveness, of unforgiveness, bitterness, living in the past. Right, let's go on. Let's move on towards the next belief system. Right, that was the recap for last week. Yes. Belief system number 9, the cluster system. I should never ask for help. If I do, it shows weakness. Read it. It's very negative, eh? I should never ask for help. It shows weakness. Now, where does that come from? It doesn't come from nowhere. It comes from an experience that you've once had, once upon a time. Remember how this show works? You need to do soul search. It's all about soul search. I should never ask for help. It shows weakness. What's the memory? For instance, being mocked, teased, or dismissed for needing support or guidance. And now you shut your mouth and you suffer in silence and you just do it all by yourself. Stress mounts up. You don't delegate. You keep it, you hold back. It escalates. It gets worse because you believe nobody's there for me. If it's going to be, it's up to me. And what happens? It just mounts up, and now it leads to lots of mental health problems later on. Even it manifests on a DNA level. It makes you sick. It makes you terribly sick. That's why we say on the epigenetic level, you can heal yourself if you shift. Sanet, you said there on your platform there, on YouTube, you said, welcome, shift shakers. It's true. That's what we are doing here tonight. We are shift shakers. We are shifting. I keep on saying this is not a platform for fixing. It's a platform for shifting. Shifting your reality by replacing the old belief system with a better one that serves you. Let's see how we can do it. Let's bring the formula in. The formula says you're going to have to act on your passion, your highest excitement, and this includes aligning yourself with people and resources. It's part of synchronicity. Let's unpack this. I need to understand in order to grow and to develop myself, I need to understand I can't do it on my own. Who are the people, part of your cluster, part of your tribe, that you can reach out to help you with? It's part of synchronicities. If you don't have it, you're out of alignment. You're missing something. Okay? Crucially important to understand this concept tonight, that you're going to have to understand and identify who are the people in your life that adds value. Who's the resources? In which area are you suffering because for some or other reason you are doing it alone and you can't carry on anymore? Okay? Let's have a look at it again. You're going to have to understand that according to epigenetics, collaborative relationships lower cortisol levels. And when cortisol levels are lowered, it can heal you on a DNA level. And it improves neuroimmune health. That's how it works from an epigenetics point of view. Let's have a look here from a neuroscience insight. When we ask for help, it strengthens community, connectivity, and brain integration. We know how dangerous it is to isolate yourself. That's why one of the worst punishments it is to isolate people. And many people still do it. They live in isolation. It makes them very, very sick. And tonight you need to ask yourself, who's the 5 people that spends the most time in your inner circle? Who are they? What kind of value are they adding to you? You need to be aware of it. You need to be aware of it. And if it's a toxic environment, a toxic circle, you're going to have to be so aware of it. It's time to make a change. You know what? If you grew up on a rubbish dump, and by the time you're 30, 40, you're still so used to the smell of rubbish dump, and the law of familiarity kicks in, and you're so aware or so used to the abuse, you're almost immune to it. You don't know how sick you actually are. Until you come to a point like this tonight where we speak about the truth and you become aware that this make-believe system about the people in your life that's not adding value is not working anymore. And if you only have one or two people, like you are saying here tonight, Mari, like 2 or 3 people, that's a good start. They're adding value into your life. 2 or 3 people that's there for you. And you know what? This thing, I want to just say something here. Some of you this week, you've been hurt by others. And now, because you got hurt, now you shut yourself more off. You close down because of the hurt of the past or the recent past this week. And you're only hurting yourself because of it. So I will never trust again. I don't ever want to love again. But when you let go of the past and you embrace the gift of the present moment, what's waiting for you here to embrace, healing is taking place. Oh, that rhymes. Okay, so that you get it. You get it tonight. So I want to encourage you tonight. So here it is. To identify those people in your inner circle that add value. And if you don't have it, you're going to have to change what? Your belief system that's holding you back in the past. It's not your circumstances that's holding you back. You've learned this before. It's your state of being, your state of mind, your belief systems in the past. Yesterday I was speaking to someone about something that happened years ago. And the person is still holding the grudge against that person of what happened then. And in the meantime, that individual is busy getting more sick and sick and sick. If you dig in the past, it's like going to the dustbin of the old food, and you don't only dig it, you start eat the rotten food, the rotten meat, the rotten fish, the rotten chicken. Dig up the past. It's time to throw it away, to cleanse, to let go. Am I speaking here to the right audience here tonight? It's time for us for cleansing. Cleansing, cleansing, cleansing is the motto word here tonight. And I know you trust, you give people an opportunity, you open your heart, and people betray your trust. You learn. You learn to put up stricter boundaries. You learn to have a better sense of discernment, of course. But you don't shut yourself off from the people. Better boundaries, better discernment, because you're on a journey. And you learn who will be in my circle in this journey going forward, who deserves to be in my inner circle. But it's a journey. If you are busy transforming your life, you are transitioning from the old to the new. Of course, in this period of transition, you're going to definitely experience this uncomfortability of people in your new circle that may not necessarily be the ones that's going to travel with you all the way. I've seen it. When you start a new business and when you employ people, for instance, don't automatically assume these are the people this is my team that will go with me all the way. It's not necessarily so. Okay? So I'm just giving you some perspective here tonight. Yes, some of you are saying here tonight, yeah, it's difficult to forget when the incident is repeated every now and then. Hence, forgiveness becomes very difficult. That's why I say repeat. Two things. Along with forgiveness comes in boundaries. Along with forgiveness comes the lesson of, number 2, discernment. And I will share with you more principles as we move on tonight. By the way, I've just decided now, next Sunday, we're going to dig in depth into the forgiveness issues, and we will look at the belief systems in particular that's holding us back so that we can deal with that. So I'm going to give you powerful tools for next week and next Sunday. Is that okay? That we focus on the issue of forgiveness in more detail, that we really dig into it. I just think it's necessary, because some of you are just confirming that the synchronicities is working in that direction. And I've learned something about this program so far, about the formula. When you follow the formula, the last part of the formula is the reward of synchronicities. And this is what we are doing here tonight. Okay, just move on. Just move on in terms of your highest excitement, especially if those of you are battling tonight with unforgiveness. Keep on focusing on your highest excitement. Let synchronicities reward you. We will deal with the issue of unforgiveness in the next time, okay? The next session, next Sunday, we will definitely deal with that. Right, so let's have a look at I'm not done yet. Neuroplasticity, with this concept of shit, never ask for help. It shows weakness. Look what neuroplasticity says there. Neuroplasticity grows through trust-based interactions. Now you need to learn to form new relationships, forge new trust relationships. It's a journey to reprogram yourself accordingly. But as some of you are saying tonight, just as you forgive, just as you want to trust again, it happens again. It's time for you to discern and become aware of that particular individual. Some individuals, listen, some individuals are not worthy of your trust. They're worthy of your love. I can love my fellow being. It's unconditional. Scripture says that. But trust is conditional. The great book doesn't say trust your neighbor like you trust yourself. Nonsense. It's conditional. It grows. I need to be worthy. I need to show my credibility before you can trust me. And when I break your trust, it needs to be built. But sometimes we can forgive, but we will not be easy ready, if not ever again, to trust. I will forgive, but I may not trust. Where in the Bible do you read about trust your neighbor like you trust yourself? I know where it stands. Moses 5 verse 4. Go and read it tonight. It stands there in Moses 5 verse 4. Trust your neighbor like you trust yourself. You won't find that verse. Neither would you find that book. It doesn't exist. Understand that. Don't cast your pearls in front of the swines. You learn to trust. We deserve to be trusted. But remember, even if you trust with your whole heart, if this person shows and bestows trust and credibility, people are people and humans are fallible. They can still hurt you and betray your trust. It's part of the journey. It's part of the journey of life. Don't shut yourself up. Off. Don't generalize because 1 or 2 or 3 people have done it to me. Now I won't trust humanity. Don't do it. Open yourself up for new experiences. Learn. Learn from this experience. Then we can move on. Then we can grow. Cornelia agree. Forgiveness does not mean you accept that person back into your life. Sometimes one must draw the line. Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. Read it there what Cornelia is saying. This is it. This is what's all about. While we're here, let me just check here on our YouTube. Let's just see if anyone is adding here something on YouTube here. Oh, there's a few of you on YouTube. Welcome all the YouTubers here tonight. No one, just only Sanette said hi. But, okay, I don't want to exclude you. You are all part of this journey here together. Right, so let's carry on. Let's carry on with this concept of I should never ask for help. It shows weakness because of the pain when someone betrayed my trust. The reframing mindset goes like this. Seeking support is a strength that fosters connection and growth. Trust needs to be earned. True, Mari. Earned. It's true. Yes. You seek support. You reach out. You include those who belong into your circle. Seek support. You can't pull yourself up on your own shoestrings. You need help. Identify your circle to help you. Right, so let's move on to belief system number 10. I must avoid risks to stay safe. Oh, it sounds so noble. I must avoid risks to stay safe. Now, I think this one deserves a new sound. So I've got a new gong here. You hear it? Let's ring the bell on this alarm. This is a bad one, ladies and gentlemen. This is a bad one. To believe that I must avoid risks to stay safe. I've been in a situation before. I've tried. When the last time when I stick my neck out, I got a slap on the wrist. Bad experience. Being punished or being shamed after trying something new. After trying to sing that song and when everybody teased or mocked you, or you lost your voice while you were singing. You had a bad experience because you did try and you got criticized for your attempt. What happens? We withdraw back into our shell and we manifest the behavior of a tortoise. Once bitten, twice shy. It sounds so noble to have that belief system. But deep down to its core, it's got to do with a bad, painful experience. Tonight we're exposing this one also. Yeah? Yep. Who of you can relate to this one? You avoid risk because you got hurt, you got criticized. You got teased, you got mocked, you got criticized. Now you stay safe. But in the meantime, it was just a journey for you. You are learning, you are growing in confidence. You need to go back, you had to go back to the drawing board and improve yourself. And that's how it works. How it works. When we look at the formula tonight, this is how you're going to overpower this whole belief system once again with the formula. Excitement often lives in the unknown, the quantum field, the domain of all possibilities. beyond your current belief system. And that's where your highest excitement, the compass, is guiding you. But your lower mind, your physical mind says, hey, that doesn't make sense. What, but, what if? What if they're going to mock or tease me again? What if it fails, if I fail again? Those of you who are doing all sorts of investments and forex, you know what I mean. If you failed once, doesn't mean you're going to stop doing it. You are learning. Because excitement often lives in the unknown, and fear, false evidence appearing real. Fear is a sign of a growth edge, not danger. And I want you to look at tonight at fear. It's actually a form of excitement. It's a form of excitement that I want you to be aware of. Don't see it as, or label it necessarily as fear. I'm so anxious. Perhaps that butterfly feeling on your stomach is excitement, guiding you. But your lower mind, your physical mind, puts doubt in your mind. The driver is criticizing the navigator. The driver wants to tell the navigator that you are wrong. And then you are out of alignment with your true, authentic self. How do we fix it? Neuroscience insight shows that the brain prefers predictability. Rather stay with the devil than the devil you don't know. And now we are stuck because we like predictability. Even if it's terrible, even if it's horrible, toxic, we stay there. But growth only happens outside of your comfort zone. This is what I'm challenging you tonight. Everybody here tonight, I'm challenging you to break out of your comfort zone. You can't stay in the cot forever. Remember, I had a very nice cot where my mummy kept me in. But she said when I was about 2 years old, it's time to get out of the cot, Jeff. Hey, I like my cot. Some of us have emotional cots, you know. We've got emotional cots. We just want to stay there. But it's so uncomfortable, that emotional cot that we are in. It's time for you tonight to identify what's your emotional cot, what's your comfort zone, how does it look like? Now, in terms of neuroplasticity develops courage by repeated exposure to the new. Small challenges. When you want to break out of this whole thing that we're talking about tonight, this predictable loop, start with small steps. Rehearse it. And then, if you're going to be faithful to little things, maybe not. Maybe, just maybe, you can take on bigger challenges. And that's how neuroplasticity works. Reinforce that patterns by first trying the small things. You know, it's like going to the gym. You're not going to start with the big weights. You're going to hurt yourself. Start with maybe the 1 kilo ones. And don't compare yourself with the 20 kilo guys who are just pumping there. You are on your own journey. Small beginnings. And now reinforce the patterns. That's how it works when we act on our highest excitement. Beautiful stuff, eh? How does it work with epigenetics? It supports the idea of innovation and challenge activated genes. That is what we are working. That's what I love. When you try something new and there's a reward, there's a dopamine reward. A new pathway has been formed. And goodness, your body, your genes will respond differently. It's time for you to act on your highest excitement and to stop allowing the physical mind, the intellectual mind, to doubt your higher mind, to doubt the compass, to doubt your higher self, which is part of the area where the highest excitement and wisdom originates from. Okay. And it can also lead to longevity when you do this. When you take calculated risks. And even if you fail forward. You fail forward. Sometimes I say I love failing because I'm learning, I'm moving forward. Right. How do we reframe this idea of avoid risks at all costs to stay safe? Taking calculated risk, ladies and gentlemen, expands our horizons and enriches our lives. This is the beauty of it. Wow. Taking calculated risk expands our horizons and it enriches our life. Now, the question here for this week is, what are the calculated risks in your life that you feel it's time for me to give it a go? It's time to give it a go. You get me? Comment below. Comment below. Yes, Mari, you say I like taking risk. I like learning. It's beautiful. Don't give up on it. Lynette, I can relate. I'm afraid. I'm too afraid to take risk. It's time for you to do it. It's time for you. Start small. Start small. Don't do the big chunks. Act on your highest excitement and start small. Don't just resign from your job that if you don't like your environment. Start acting on your highest excitement. Do it perhaps in a side hustle. But don't stay in your comfort zone. It's time also for you to look at your cot, your emotional cot. Yeah, your emotional cot. Maybe we should rephrase tonight's session, my emotional cot. Throwing my emotional cot away. Yeah, yes. Now, beautiful stuff that we're talking about tonight. Now, just to check here tonight, identify those calculated risks that you want to take this week, that you want to work on. Is there any of you would like to share with us here in the group? Share with us. Just speak it out. Voice it in terms of what you would like to do for this coming week that lies ahead. It's time for me to break out of my comfort zone. Whether it's overeating and not gymming, whether it's just doing the same old story, SOS, same boring thing over and over and over. No. It's time for you to really make the shift. Now, to conclude for tonight, my dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to share with you some ideas here tonight to summarize the whole idea of this journey that we've been through, the 4 or 5 series, I don't know, 5 episodes. It's about the way I see this journey that we are concluding tonight is to transition from fear to freedom, to replace old beliefs with the new truths in your life. Oh, I love this. You see, we've spent the past few episodes unpacking all these many fear-based beliefs, one after the other, the kind of thoughts that leave us anxious, uncertain, and stuck in patterns that no longer serve us. Go back to the previous episodes if you don't know what I'm talking about. They are all available on the YouTube channel, The Ancient Master. Tonight, as we bring this series to a close, I want to take you deeper, just in summary. So let's just talk about the exact opposite of fear-based beliefs. This is what I want you to think now. The opposite of fear-based beliefs. Now I want to make it very practical for you. So let's talk about freedom. You deserve freedom. It's your birthright. So let's talk about the truth of you who really are the real authentic you when you're no longer stuck in the old stories. How will that person look like? Because fear-based beliefs, like many of you can reset, I relate to it, are like change. I used earlier the narrative of a cot. Okay? They keep us small. You can't grow. Imagine if you've been living in a cot since your whole life. The emotional cot. They keep us small. They say things like, you are not good enough. Don't try. You'll only fail because you've done it before. You can't trust anyone. You know? Chi. Now these beliefs are built, as we discussed and discovered so far, on PAI, in pain, past disappointment, past conditioning. They don't reflect your true potential. Not at all. They only reflect your wounds. But here's the beautiful part tonight. For every fear-based belief that you carry and that you have exposed in yourself and identified so far, there's a higher truth waiting to be discovered within yourself. You were never meant to live from a position of fear. It was not intended. You can break away from it. You were born to live from power. That's your birthright. You were born to live from love. And you can restore it tonight by embracing love. The more you love yourself, the easier it is, by the way, to forgive others. And from a sense of deep inner knowing, ladies and gentlemen, my friends, that you are more. You're more. You're the more than the sum total of your past. You are not the definition of your past. You hear me tonight? So let's just pause and ask ourselves this question. What is the opposite of my fear-based beliefs? Think about what's the opposite of fear-based beliefs. It's simple. The answer is very simple. I repeat the question. What's the opposite of fear-based belief systems? The opposite, here it comes, is trust. Trust. It's believing that life is working for you, not against you, because you are following the formula by acting on your highest excitement without any expectations on the outcome, following with the flow, and trust the synchronicities of life to guide you. Okay? It's trust. Trust. It's believing, trust the flow of life. That life is working for you, not against you. You need to shift that as well. It's choosing hope when fear knocks on the door of your heart. It's choosing possibility instead of limitation. It's waking up every morning consciously and saying it. What if today is the day something beautiful happens? And you take it even further. Today is the day that something beautiful is happening right now. And that is your mantra every morning, your confession. So letting go of fear-based beliefs means stepping out of the shadow of the past. You get it? Letting go of fear-based beliefs, you're going to have to step out of the shadow of the past. And I know, listen, I don't I know it's not always easy. That's why I'm speaking in staccato tonight, slowly. Because some of these beliefs, of these 10 beliefs that we've been discussing so far, were formed in childhood. They formed wounds. Your DNA has adjusted accordingly. And some come even from trauma. Many of you know exactly what I mean. Some of them are inherited. Remember that session about 3 months ago when we spoke about in generational trauma, belief systems that comes from 3, 4, 5 generations backward when we expose that. Maybe it's time next week I will look at that again, that we can just revise that. So some of these belief systems, we've inherited them from generations before us. We just accepted it unconditionally. But tonight, as you're watching here, you can let them go. You don't have to do it all at once. It's a journey. So let's just unpack how we can use the formula. I want you to become aware of the pattern, to notice the story in your life, to start paying attention to the thoughts that hold you back, to become aware of your belief systems. And simple to ask yourself, is it based on love or fear? Does it pull you forward or does it keep you stuck? And now, after this awareness, it's about the decision that you're going to have to make to decide what you want to believe instead. You don't have to keep thinking thoughts that make you feel small. Once you expose the lie, why believe the lie? You know the tooth fairy doesn't exist. You know Christmas Father is not your dad. It's your dad. It's not real. It's not Santa Claus. You know it. You don't buy into it anymore. You get to choose what you believe once you expose the lie. You get to say, for instance, I'm not going to live like this anymore. I'm choosing a new way. And now, it's time for you to practice these new beliefs. You need to affirm it. You need to speak it. Create your mantras. Write it in your journal. Remind yourself over and over, I'm beautiful, I am enough, I'm clever, I'm safe now, I am growing, I am worthy of love and success. I deserve better than now. Okay? It takes time. But every time you say it, you are building new tracks in your brain. Neuroplasticity. New tracks are being formed. And then, now you're going to live like it's true. You're going to live it. Although it's maybe not there physically, but you live like it's true. You start acting as if the belief is already real. If you believe, for instance, you were enough, here's an example. How would you show up today at work? How will you dress? If you trusted life again, what decision would you make differently? And letting go of fear-based beliefs is like stepping into the sunlight after years of being stuck in the dark. At first, it will overpower you. It will feel strange. You'll feel unfamiliar with the light. You'll feel unfamiliar with this new life. But if you trust life again, what's going to happen? But then you realize, this is who I've been all along. I've been living a lie. And I deserve better. Okay, so tonight as we close down in this series, I want to tell you this just from my heart. This has come from my heart. That you are not your past. You are not your pain. You are not the fears that is trying to define you. You are capable of creating a new story, one rooted in truth, in courage, and in joy. You are free to let go. You are free to begin again. You are free to believe in yourself. And this is your moment. Step into it. This is my message for you tonight from the depth of my heart. May this week, as you embrace this truth, be the breakthrough of the manifestation of the new, authentic you emerging, coming forward. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you for everybody. You needed this. You needed to hear this. You need to hear it again. Listening to your on your podcast this week, coming forward. Oh, I'm enjoying my honey and ginger tea. Thank you, everybody. You are all precious. Love you all. Thank you. May this week be a fantastic week for you, a week of healing, a week of contemplation, a week of letting go of the old and embrace the new. The new you, the new you. Thank you, everybody, for your beautiful words here tonight. Thank you, everybody. I'm not going to mention or highlight one name. Thank you. You are also awesome, precious people. Some of you have been here since episode 1, since the 1st of December. I appreciate you. I really deeply honor you for being part of this journey with me. And may this week be a fantastic week for you, as we will see each other next Sunday evening, 6 o'clock, same face, same place, and let's work on the issue of forgiveness next Sunday. Be blessed.